So I just wanted to go over, kind of our stats, what we had for the month of December. And I was saying, it was very busy out there, especially that week between Christmas and New Year's. The traffic kind of getting on and off. I think everybody saw. Um, we had a lot of people out there. We had about 300, not about, but exactly 332 calls for service on Siesta Key for the month of December. 7% of those were the classified as person or property crimes. We had four vehicle burglaries. All but one. One was reported to be secured, but there were no signs of forced injury. So if we take that person at their word that it was secure, three out of the four were all unlocked vehicles. I say it every time, and I'll say it again. It's one of those things. It's easy to do. It's also easy to forget, but it's easy to do to help prevent yourself from being a victim of a crime. Lock your doors, secure all the items that you have inside, and lock your houses. Like four of the theft cases that we had over the month were unattended items taken from the public beach. That's another thing that we try to preach about a little bit is if you're going to leave your things when you go to the water, we ask that you leave them in your car locked up. Don't bring them out to the beach. Don't try, if you do have to leave, make sure there's somebody around that can kind of keep an eye on them because it just makes it easier. It's one of those crimes opportunities. People walk through the beach and they see unattended items, people in the water not paying attention. They walk through and take them. We had a couple of assault cases out there on the key this month, one of which involved a couple deputies who were making an arrest, and the guy decided to fight and resist a little bit. And the other one, I believe, it was a known suspect threw another item at another subject during the drum circle. Um, Other than that, it wasn't too crazy out there as far as calls for service or crimes that happened. It's just your typical, holiday season. We hope everybody had a great holiday season there. We had a great season as far as the sheriff's office goes. Starting today, we have some very good news in the fact that we have two more deputies started today that are assigned to Siesta Key Substation. Today and tomorrow, I have them working. Um, I have
Hooray.
them working at day shift hours to the same hours that we normally work during the day. So you might have seen a couple extra new faces out there today and tomorrow. I just wanted to give them a chance and be able to sit down and talk with them, explain to them kind of how we operate out there, let them get to know the area a little bit. They probably look familiar. They've been around. They've worked on the key for years. They know how things operate out there. They know how to take care of people. Um, so I think they're going to work out great. Moving forward, starting this weekend, they will be working primarily of an evening slash night, probably somewhere between 4 in the afternoon till 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning is kind of what we're shooting for. They'll be out there almost every day of the week. They're going to rotate a little bit and work the same day a couple days and be out by themselves for the rest of the time. But it's great news. We're going to have some more coverage out there. Hopefully, be able to deal with some of the other complaints that we've had with, juveniles in the parking lots or loud music, speeding cars, all the issues that take place at night out there. That now we have a couple of people that can, really take the time and look into those things. Um, but other than that, we are now starting, to move past the holidays and into our pre-planning phase, as I like to call it, for spring break. I know it seems like it's spring break's a ways away, but it's just it's right around the corner, a couple months away. So we're already gearing up, trying to get things in place and plans implemented. So when that time comes around, we can make it as smooth and uneventful as possible. But with that, I'll open it up. Does anybody have any questions?
I'd ask a question. Is it okay, Jean?
Sure, Jan, go ahead.
Okay, first of all, excellent news about two more deputies assigned to the key. So first of all, thanks for pushing for that and for getting that. We do appreciate that. I wondered if you would just reiterate the rules for electric bikes that are pulling trikes, even golf carts, with the influx of so many of the folks that come down from, I think it's a lot of Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania. There are so many families on those electric bikes that it just makes everyone, I'm sure, so nervous, and we want to protect them. Can you reiterate it? they're on the side of the road, they're in the lanes. What, can you just reiterate the law for that?
Yeah, so they have every right, as a normal bicycle would. They could be on the road, they can be on the sidewalk, they can be in the bike lane. They're as far as the state of Florida is concerned and the law, they are treated just like a normal bicycle. The only caveat to that is on the beach. Sarasota County does not allow them on the beach.
Okay, thank you for reiterating.
Does that help?
We're really concerned about their safety.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that, they're growing in popularity, and just like Siesta Key is growing in popularity, the more people get out there, we got to be vigilant and keeping an eye out for pedestrians, for bicyclists, e-bikes, cars. We got to look for it all.
Okay, we have a question from the floor here. Lourdes?
Sure.
Hi, I have a question about the 2 new deputies. Are they going to be patrolling the village area throughout the key, or are they going to stay at the beach office?
Hey, Margaret, I'm sorry. I had a hard time hearing her. Can you repeat that question?
Could you try this microphone right here? Yeah, this one, right there. Yes, thank you. Try that one.
That won't work.
You don't think so? All right, so what she's, come up this way. You can, yeah. Well, go ahead, Lourdes. Sorry.
Hi, Aaron. I have a question about the 2 new deputies. Will they be stationed at the beach at your offices there, or would they be patrolling around or stationed in the village at night?
Well, so they're going to cover the whole key, just kind of like we do now. The office, they'll share the office with us at the main public beach there at 948, but they will be responding to calls, patrolling the entire key, North Village, South Village, the beach, everywhere that if an issue comes up, they'll be available to help respond to any calls there and patrol.
One of the questions I had was related to the new beach hours. I mean, actually it's all parks hours of operation. We understand that all the parks now close at 10 throughout the county. And I have questions about the beach parking lot, and is it closing at 10, and as well as the access points?
I'm glad you brought that up, Catherine. I literally just had this discussion with the 2 new deputies that came in, and we were talking about it. And I had this discussion with my lieutenant and captain earlier today with pre-planning for spring break. So the new park hours at Siesta Key have changed. The entire park, according to the county ordinance, closes at 10. The park hours are up to the park administrator for each individual park throughout the county. I know the majority of them, or a lot of them, are closing at 10 now, but there's still a couple other parks, I believe, that have different hours. But if you go to the Sarasota County website, the Parks and Recreation, you can look up all parks throughout the county and what their hours of operation are. But I know specifically for Siesta Key, the main beach, the park, which includes the beach, includes all the way out to the mean high water line, the lifeguard stands, the beach, everywhere that is considered the county park, and also the parking lot, also the public accesses, according to the county ordinance, they are only open to the public during posted hours. And I know the Parks and Rec did a good job and worked hard at getting all the signs changed, other signs taken down, new signs put up, which have the new hours posted. Going forward, we're going to probably start looking into potentially enforcing that maybe a little bit more and using that county ordinance, because it technically it is a misdemeanor, I think a 2nd-degree misdemeanor to be in violation of that county ordinance. But it specifically says in there that it's the entire park, which includes the beach and the parking lot. So I hope that answers your question, Catherine.
It does. It does.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. I have another one from Jim.
Hi, Sergeant. Sure. A quick question for you. I think most of the people on the south end of Siesta Key would say that the experience that we suffered, if you like, between Christmas and New Year's was unusual and terrible. And basically what was reported to me, and I be honest, I can provide you with people who who would certainly justify what I'm saying here. And in fact, the individual is keeping a record of this so that it'll be available to you all and anybody else going forward. But the problem is that we had rentals of golf carts and these bicycles between 7-Eleven and the corner going on, so that there were a heck of a lot of golf carts which can't go the speed limit. And so my question about this is, the last time I was at a session that you all were here, you made the comment that vehicles had to be able to drive the speed limit or otherwise they weren't legal. And I can tell you, if you don't enforce that rule, it's going to be madness on this key with what's going on between bikes and golf carts. Because as you know, the speed limit is 40, the trolley's already slowing things down. And with these vehicles, just give you an idea. There was traffic between 4 and 5, 6 in that hour, which I've never seen before, and others had never seen before, south of Sanderling, all the way up to the corner for hours, right? And hours, and trying to get off the key. So instead of normally pre-COVID, I never left my house between 10 and 2 because I knew I'd be stopped at Sanderling. This episode was all the way back to the corner on multiple days, which is a nightmare. So I think we're all over the key. We're going to have to look at the implication of vehicles being on the road that can't drive the speed limit, and then it's getting dangerous because of the bikes and are coming out of their lanes. They don't stay in any specific lane. They're all over the place. So if you're telling all the vehicle drivers to basically let the bicycles do whatever the hell they want to do, we're going to be to be safe about that. We're going to be talking about very slow traffic, and all kinds of stop and go. So my question really is, I thought you said before that to be legal, a vehicle that was traveling on the road per se, when there's a bicycle lane, for example, or sidewalks, that they have to not be on the road. If they can't drive 40 miles an hour, they can't be on the road. Is that true or not? What are the rules?
The section, there is a section of road there on Midnight Pass south of the 7-Eleven, and there's a sign that said there's no low speed vehicles. And that is because the speed limit does go up higher there. And it's not, the only reason isn't just because it makes people move slow, but it's just not safe because the slow moving vehicles aren't rated to handle a crash at that kind of speed. So it's a safety issue as far as that goes as well. But north of there, I think what you're talking about is kind of north of the 7-Eleven. Slow moving vehicles are allowed as of now on that section of road.
Yep.
Yeah, let me be clear. I'm not talking about that. That area is very dangerous. I mean, because there's no sidewalk in front of Crescent Club anymore. People stand and drink with their tail ends hanging out in the bike lane. The whole situation is really not good.
Right.
Right. And
right.
I think that to the extent that you have, if people if they are renting vehicles that are not legal to drive to either one of the beaches, why do we let them do that? That's a specific question I have.
Okay.
Well, they are legal to drive to the beaches. It would be illegal to drive it to Turtle Beach if you're going that way, just on a slow moving vehicle, because they're not allowed on that section of road. But they go in the opposite way north to Siesta Beach. They are allowed to drive on that section of Midnight Pass. And to answer the other part of your other question was, you don't have to necessarily go the speed limit. That's the fastest you can go. And to my knowledge, there isn't a speed minimum on those roads, just a speed limit. So as long as they're not going over the speed limit, then you're okay, with the exception of the sections of road south towards Turtle and on Midnight Pass, going over the Hump Bridge. You're not allowed to go on those. There's no slow moving vehicles there because the speed limit is higher and those vehicles aren't rated to go that fast. But unfortunately, those things aren't necessarily in place just because it slows traffic down. I understand that's a byproduct of that and it causes issues, but that's not necessarily the only reason that those laws are in place for that. I agree with you. That section there is very dangerous. It is, does cause problems. And it's something that we're trying to address and we're trying to work on and get some more people down there and make that a little bit safer. But the way that's set up, it does cause some problems.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? Anyone else? Okay. Ready to go to the next one, Catherine?
I guess that's it.
Thank
for
you,
now.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. I hope you have a new year. And I would like to end with just one thing, if you don't mind, Catherine. I don't know if you guys follow us on social media, but as I mentioned earlier, I'm also the sergeant of our Mounted Patrol unit. And I don't know if you earlier last month we had a horse suddenly die. I think he had a heart attack and an aneurysm, and it died unexpectedly. He was 11 years old. He was one of our great horses. If you know anybody or anybody is interested in helping out the Mounted Patrol unit, we are currently looking for donated. We work all off donated horses. All the horses we have been given to us for free from families that were looking to get rid of them. We take them in for a second career. If you know anybody that has horses, or you know anybody that would like to donate to the Mounted Patrol, please get with Catherine, give them my number, reach out to the sheriff's office. We're always looking for more horses. They love coming out to Siesta Key. It's one of the things that we do. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you need anything, or you know anybody, please have them reach out. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We sure will put that out there. Thank
Happy
you.
New Year to you.
Yes, happy
Thank
New
you.
Year. Safe
You
flight.
too. Thank you.
Shari Arkin, can we perhaps get a breakout on some of these numbers going forward? So you always said that the serious crimes are one number and the ones that are less serious. So in other words, we have your numbers up here showing how many calls you had. It would be nice to be able just to get the general breakout.
Yeah, I'll send you
Changes from previous years.
like the sheet. Have you seen the sheet that I've sent you before with all the breakdown of the calls for service, you mean?
I have seen that before, but this one here was just a summary you had provided for the years. It just would be great if we could see the breakout between the ones that are serious versus the ones that aren't, so we can check that.
Yeah, I'll work on that for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye now.